In a world that seems to be spinning faster every day, finding peace can feel like chasing a mirage. Yet, while many turn to quick fixes and temporary escapes, there's a timeless philosophy that offers a different path: Stoicism, an ancient Greek school of thought. It teaches us how to cultivate inner calm and resilience without relying on pills or distractions. Today, I want to share with you 7 Stoic exercises that can help you find that inner peace we've all been searching for. These practices are simple yet profoundly effective, drawing on the wisdom of some of history's greatest minds. If you appreciate what we're doing here, a simple, free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button and don't skip any part of the video. You won't want to miss these valuable insights. If you're ready to discover how you can transform your mindset and embrace tranquility amidst the chaos, stay tuned. This could be the start of a journey that changes everything. If this video is helpful, please comment with the number 1. If it's not helpful yet, please comment with the number 0 so we can improve further. Number 1. Negative visualization. In our daily lives, we're often told to stay positive and look on the bright side. While optimism has its benefits, it also has a dark side. Constantly believing that everything will go perfectly can set you up for disappointment. Imagine starting your day expecting everything to go smoothly, only to end it feeling defeated by the harsh realities of life. This is where negative visualization comes in. The Stoics, particularly the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, taught that preparing for the worst can actually lead to a more resilient and tranquil mind. So, what is negative visualization? It's the practice of imagining the worst-case scenarios in your life. This might sound depressing, but it's actually a way to build mental toughness. By mentally preparing yourself for undesirable and uncomfortable situations, you're less likely to be caught off guard and more likely to handle them with grace and composure. Marcus Aurelius himself would begin each day by telling himself, "Today I shall be meeting with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness." He believed that by visualizing these negative encounters and accepting them as part of life, he could manage his expectations and shield his soul against adversity. Think about it this way: if you anticipate that your commute to work might be frustrating with traffic jams and delays, you're less likely to feel stressed when it actually happens. Instead of being blindsided by frustration, you're prepared, and this preparation helps you stay calm and collected. Negative visualization doesn't mean dwelling on the bad or becoming pessimistic. It's about creating a mental buffer so that when challenges arise, they don't knock you off balance. Another aspect of negative visualization is appreciating what you have by imagining life without it. This exercise can deepen your gratitude and contentment. For instance, take a moment to imagine losing something or someone you deeply care about. Picture what life would be like without your job, your home, or your loved ones. This isn't to make you sad, but to help you recognize and appreciate their value even more. When you practice this regularly, you start to see your life through a lens of gratitude, making everyday experiences more meaningful. Negative visualization is also useful for handling fear and anxiety. By confronting your fears head-on and visualizing the worst possible outcomes, you often find that these outcomes aren't as catastrophic as your mind made them out to be. This can be incredibly liberating. For example, if you're afraid of failing a big project at work, take some time to visualize what would happen if you did fail. Would it be the end of your career, or would it be an opportunity to learn and grow? Most often you'll find that the consequences are manageable and not life-altering. Moreover, this Stoic practice can improve your relationships. By preparing yourself mentally for the possibility of misunderstandings, arguments, or ingratitude, you can respond with patience and understanding rather than anger or disappointment. You become more accepting of others' flaws and shortcomings because you've already anticipated them. Number 2, self-control practice. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, developing self-control can feel like swimming upstream. However, the Stoics believed that mastering self-control is key to achieving true inner peace and freedom. By learning to govern our impulses and desires, we can focus on what truly matters and navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. Self-control starts with recognizing the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. Epictetus made a clear distinction between internal and external factors. He said, "Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in one word, whatever are not our own actions." Understanding this distinction is liberating because it allows us to direct our energy towards the things we can influence rather than wasting it on what we can't. So how do we strengthen our self-control? One effective method is through deliberate practice and small, everyday exercises. For instance, intermittent fasting is a practical way to train self-control. By setting specific times when you don't eat, you learn to resist the urge to snack mindlessly. This not only helps you control your eating habits, but also builds discipline that can be applied to other areas of your life. Another simple yet powerful exercise is to chew your food a certain number of times before swallowing. It sounds easy, but it's surprisingly difficult, especially if you're used to eating quickly. This practice forces you to slow down and be mindful, enhancing your self-control. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of managing our reactions to external events. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and someone cuts you off. Your immediate impulse might be to honk your horn and curse. But practicing self-control means taking a deep breath and choosing not to let this minor incident ruin your day. By focusing on how you respond rather than the event itself, you maintain your inner peace and composure. Over time, these small acts of self-control accumulate, leading to a more balanced and resilient mind. Another powerful practice is delaying gratification. In our fast-paced world, we're often tempted to seek immediate pleasure, whether it's through social media, junk food, or shopping. The Stoics, however, teach us to wait. By resisting the urge to indulge impulsively, we develop patience and discipline. This allows us to pursue our long-term goals with determination and perseverance. Moreover, delaying gratification can lead to greater satisfaction when we finally achieve our desires. Self-control also extends to our interactions with others. When faced with criticism or provocation, our instinct might be to react defensively or aggressively. However, by practicing self-control, we can choose a more measured response. This doesn't mean suppressing our feelings, but rather acknowledging them and responding in a way that reflects our values. By doing so, we can diffuse conflicts and foster more harmonious relationships. This approach is particularly useful in professional settings where maintaining composure can be crucial. This could be as simple as speaking up in a meeting when you have an opinion or idea. Often we hold back because we fear what our colleagues might think. Will they think I'm stupid? Will they dismiss my ideas? By taking the plunge and expressing your thoughts, you start to realize that others' opinions are often fleeting and less significant than you imagined. Each time you do this, you build a layer of resilience and confidence. Another way to practice self-control is by wearing something uncomfortable. In a world where we often fret about others' opinions, shedding this concern can ease anxiety and stress. By letting go of this worry, you reduce the mental burden you carry daily, and you start to live more in the present, enjoying moments without the nagging fear of judgment. This shift in perspective can bring a greater sense of peace and happiness. Moreover, embracing this Stoic exercise allows you to form deeper and more authentic connections with others. When you're not trying to impress or conform, you show up genuinely. Epictetus often reminded himself of Stoic principles and examined his own actions and thoughts. This practice allowed him to maintain a sense of perspective and self-awareness, even as he dealt with the immense pressures of being a Roman emperor. So how can you incorporate journaling into your daily routine? Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to write. You don't need to write pages and pages, even a few lines can be incredibly beneficial. Begin with reflecting on your day, what went well, what didn't, and what lessons you learned. Then, set achievable steps toward improving. Additionally, revisiting your journal entries over time allows you to track your progress and see how far you've come. This can be incredibly motivating and affirming, especially during times when you might feel stuck or unproductive. Moreover, journaling is an excellent tool for practicing gratitude, a concept deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believed in appreciating what you have and recognizing the transient nature of life. By regularly noting down the things you're grateful for, you cultivate a mindset of abundance and contentment. Journaling also helps you approach problem-solving more effectively. When faced with a challenge, writing about it allows you to explore the problem from various angles and consider potential outcomes without the pressure of immediate action. This reflective process can lead to more thoughtful and effective solutions, reducing impulsive decisions that might not align with your long-term goals. Lastly, journaling can enhance your communication skills. By regularly articulating your thoughts and feelings on paper, you become more adept at expressing yourself clearly and effectively. This skill translates to better verbal communication, improving your relationships and your ability to navigate social situations. Memento mori. As a way to prioritize their values and live more authentically, Marcus Aurelius often reflected on death in his writings. He would remind himself that life is fleeting and that every moment is precious. This practice helped him stay grounded and maintain a sense of urgency about living virtuously. By contemplating death, he could appreciate the present moment and strive to live in accordance with his principles. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. When we remember that our time is limited, we stop taking things for granted and start seeing them as the precious gifts they are. Moreover, memento mori can help us confront our fears. Fear of failure, rejection, or even death itself can paralyze us and prevent us from living fully. By regularly reflecting on our mortality, we can desensitize ourselves to these fears and become more courageous. The Stoics believed that understanding and accepting the inevitability of death can free us from the anxiety that often accompanies it. It's not about dwelling on death in a negative way. Instead, it's about using the awareness of mortality to enhance our appreciation of life. View from above. The idea is to mentally zoom out from our immediate circumstances and view them from a much broader cosmic perspective. This practice helps us see the triviality of many of the annoyances of daily life. Practicing the view from above can be incredibly grounding. It helps to put our lives into context and reminds us that many of the things we worry about are, in the grand scheme of things, not that important. This doesn't mean that our problems don't matter at all, but rather that they should be kept in perspective. When we see our issues as just a tiny part of a much larger whole, we can approach them with a calmer, more rational mindset. This perspective can be particularly liberating. This practice also encourages a sense of awe and wonder. The universe is vast and full of mysteries, and contemplating its grandeur can be a humbling experience. This sense of wonder can inspire us to appreciate the beauty and complexity of life and to find joy in the small things. Furthermore, the view from above reminds us of our place within it. This can be done through meditation, visualization, or simply by spending time in nature and contemplating its beauty. The key is to make it a regular practice so that this broader perspective becomes a natural part of how we view the world. Amor fati, love of fate, or amor fati, is a profound Stoic practice that invites us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, both good and bad, with open arms. The concept encourages us not just to accept our fate, but to love it. By embracing this mindset, we learn to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. One way to practice amor fati is by reflecting on past events that initially seemed negative, but ultimately led to positive outcomes. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe a relationship ended, or you faced a major setback. Looking back, you might realize that these experiences taught you valuable lessons or opened doors to new opportunities. By embracing the present moment, we make the most of our experiences and build a richer, more fulfilling life. This practice can be particularly powerful in times of adversity. When faced with a difficult situation, ask yourself how you can use this experience to grow stronger and wiser. For instance, if you're dealing with a health issue, consider how this challenge might teach you resilience, patience, or a deeper appreciation for your body. By finding the silver lining in every situation, we build a legacy of strength and wisdom. When we face life's challenges with courage and acceptance, we leave behind a powerful example for future generations. Our children, friends, and community members can look to us as models of how to live well regardless of circumstances. This legacy of resilience and love of fate is a gift that can continue to inspire and uplift long after we are gone. As we journey through life, let us remember that every moment, every challenge, and every joy is part of the rich tapestry of human experience. Embracing it all with open arms, we can find peace and fulfillment in the midst of life's uncertainties. The Stoic philosophy encompasses various practices and principles that guide us toward a life of tranquility and fulfillment. By integrating these Stoic exercises into our daily lives, we can cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace amidst the chaos of the modern world. Number 3, acceptance of impermanence. Central to Stoic philosophy is the recognition of the impermanence of all things. The Stoics believed in embracing the transient nature of life and accepting that change is inevitable. By acknowledging the impermanence of both joy and suffering, we can cultivate a sense of detachment and equanimity. This acceptance of impermanence allows us to release our attachment to outcomes and embrace the present moment fully. Rather than clinging to the past or worrying about the future, we can focus on what is within our control and find contentment in the here and now. One way to practice acceptance of impermanence is through mindfulness meditation. By bringing our attention to the present moment and observing our thoughts and sensations without judgment, we can develop a greater sense of peace and clarity. Additionally, reflecting on the Stoic concept of the circle of hierarchies can help us cultivate a sense of interconnectedness with all beings. This visualization exercise involves imagining ourselves at the center of a series of concentric circles, with our loved ones closest to us and expanding outward to encompass all of humanity. By recognizing our shared humanity and interconnectedness with others, we can develop greater compassion and empathy. This, in turn, allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience, knowing that we are not alone in our struggles. Number 4, practice of virtue. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the pursuit of virtue or excellence of character. The Stoics believed that true happiness and fulfillment could be found by living in accordance with our highest values and principles. According to the Stoics, there are 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By cultivating these virtues in our daily lives, we can develop a strong and resilient character that is capable of facing life's challenges with integrity and grace. One way to practice the virtue of wisdom is through the continuous pursuit of knowledge and self-improvement. By seeking to understand ourselves and the world around us more deeply, we can make wiser choices and live more intentionally. Similarly, the virtue of courage involves facing our fears and taking action in spite of them. By stepping outside of our comfort zones and embracing challenges, we can develop the courage to live authentically and pursue our dreams. The virtue of justice entails treating others with fairness and compassion. By striving to be just in our actions and decisions, we can contribute to the greater good and foster a more harmonious society. Finally, the virtue of temperance involves practicing moderation and self-control in all things. By cultivating discipline and restraint, we can avoid excess and live a balanced and fulfilling life. Number 5, gratitude and contentment. Gratitude is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. as it allows us to appreciate the abundance of blessings in our lives and find contentment in the present moment. By cultivating an attitude of gratitude, we can shift our focus from what we lack to what we have, fostering a greater sense of peace and fulfillment. One way to practice gratitude is by keeping a daily gratitude journal, where we can write down 3 things we are thankful for each day. By taking the time to reflect on the blessings in our lives, we can develop a more positive outlook and enhance our overall well-being. Additionally, the Stoics believed in practicing voluntary discomfort as a way to cultivate gratitude and resilience. By intentionally exposing ourselves to challenging situations, such as cold showers or fasting, we can develop a greater appreciation for the comforts and conveniences of everyday life. Moreover, practicing the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control can help us cultivate gratitude and contentment by focusing on what is within our control rather than dwelling on external circumstances. By recognizing that our thoughts and actions are the only things we truly control, we can let go of the need to constantly seek validation or approval from others and find peace in the present moment. In conclusion, Stoicism offers a timeless philosophy that can guide us toward a life of inner peace and fulfillment. By integrating Stoic practices such as negative visualization, self-control, acceptance of impermanence, practice of virtue, and gratitude and contentment into our daily lives, we can cultivate resilience, wisdom, and tranquility amidst the chaos of the modern world. Number 6. Finding meaning in adversity. Stoicism teaches us to find meaning in adversity, recognizing that challenges are not obstacles but opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By reframing our perspective on adversity, we can transform setbacks into stepping stones on the path to personal and spiritual development. One way to practice finding meaning in adversity is through the Stoic concept of the obstacle. The way this principle encourages us to embrace obstacles as opportunities to develop resilience, creativity, and resourcefulness. Rather than viewing challenges as barriers to success, we can see them as valuable lessons that ultimately propel us forward on our journey. Additionally, practicing the Stoic exercise of premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils, can help us prepare for adversity and develop a mindset of resilience. By envisioning potential challenges and setbacks in advance, we can strategize and prepare ourselves to respond with strength and courage when they arise. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate an attitude of acceptance and surrender in the face of adversity. Rather than resisting or fighting against difficult circumstances, we can learn to embrace them with grace and equanimity, trusting in the inherent wisdom of the universe. Number 7. Living in alignment with nature. Central to Stoic philosophy is the idea of living in harmony with nature, both external and internal. External nature refers to the natural world around us, while internal nature refers to our own rational and moral faculties. Living in alignment with external nature involves recognizing our place in the natural order of the universe and accepting the inherent impermanence and unpredictability of life. By aligning ourselves with the rhythms and cycles of nature, we can cultivate a greater sense of peace and interconnectedness with the world around us. Living in alignment with internal nature involves cultivating our rational and moral faculties and living in accordance with our highest values and principles. By developing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we can cultivate a strong and resilient character that is capable of facing life's challenges with integrity and grace. Bonus: service to others. Another fundamental aspect of Stoicism is the principle of service to others. Stoics recognize the interconnectedness of humanity and believe that we have a moral duty to contribute positively to the welfare of society. By practicing altruism and compassion, we not only benefit others but also cultivate a sense of fulfillment and purpose in our own lives. Service to others can take many forms, from volunteering in our local community to supporting charitable causes that align with our values. One way to practice service to others is through random acts of kindness. By performing small acts of generosity and compassion, such as helping a neighbor in need or donating to a worthy cause, we can make a positive impact on the lives of others and contribute to the greater good. Additionally, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate empathy and understanding towards others, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own battles and facing their own challenges. By practicing active listening and seeking to understand the perspectives of others, we can foster deeper connections and create a more compassionate and inclusive society. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to lead by example and inspire others through our words and actions. By living a life of integrity, honesty, and virtue, we can serve as role models for those around us and inspire others to strive for excellence and moral goodness. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches us that true happiness and fulfillment are found not in external possessions or circumstances, but in the cultivation of inner virtues and values. By integrating Stoic principles and practices into our daily lives, we can cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace, leading to a life of greater meaning and purpose. In conclusion, Stoicism offers a timeless philosophy that can guide us toward a life of tranquility and fulfillment amidst the chaos of the modern world. By embracing Stoic principles such as negative visualization, self-control, acceptance of impermanence, practice of virtue, gratitude and contentment, finding meaning in adversity, and living in alignment with nature, we can cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace, leading to a life of greater meaning and purpose.